I think it's fitting that my first encounter with Tim was, probably a couple of months after I came. I asked him to come over to the parsonage, get out his video, and show me a little bit about his first deployment, his first mobilization, which was in 2004 and 5. And he's getting ready for his second. We visited this week in my office as he's getting ready at the end of 2009 to go for a 5-year rotation back to his place of duty, which will be in Kuwait and eventually Iraq. He leaves on December the 4th, expecting to be gone about about almost a year. He'll be mobilizing to Camp Shelby in Mississippi. He'll continue his training there for 2 months, and then he'll head out ahead of all the different troops, getting ready for all of the transportation equipment that will arrive. About 3,200 people have to move from Tennessee to Camp Shelby, from Camp Shelby to Kuwait, and from Kuwait to Iraq. Tim and his crew will be there, the 278th, to help facilitate the drawdown of the troops, to move equipment back from Iraq to the U.S., and to close the bases and to facilitate an orderly and methodical drawdown. The combat troops are hoped to be back September of 2010. They're making ready for that, and all the support troops by December 2011. This is a man who stands in a 400-year tradition of National Guard, which started out as a colony militias that eventually turned to the National Guard. I don't have Tim up here to say, we support war, that we're not for peace. That's not the point. The point is Tim is part of our family, and he leaves and he goes in support of our country and our freedom. And that, my friends, is honoring. That is worth honoring. So Tim, I ask you, this time as you go, it's a different quest that you go for. It's a different mission. This time you're doing a drawdown and a pull-out. How does it feel so different to you than the last?
Well, last time, it was my first time. I was a lot of nervous, anxious. This time, it's more like, done there, been there. I know what the job is. Let's go ahead and get it done and get back home.
Yeah.
And and with these, like I say, the 3,200 and the 278th that's going, and we're spread out over the state of Tennessee, about half of us has done one tour, about half to 2/3, and the other half, the other third to half, this is their first tour. So, some of us, we've seen it. Some of the other soldiers, this is their first time, and they're going through the same nervousness and anxiousness and stuff like that.
You can be there for them. I will tell you that Tim's duty could have ended 2001 as an officer, but he chose to go back because he felt a sense of call and mission. How does this mission give you a sense of hope as the troops draw down, Tim?
Well, when we was there, I don't know if you remember, but in 2005, Iraq had 3 elections. The first one was, I think, January 30th, 2005, and the second one was October 15th, 2005, and the last one was, I think, December 15th, 2005. Well, my group, the 278th, we was there to help facilitate those elections in the January and October. And as soon as the October election was over with, that our tour was ending. So then we was relieved, handed over responsibility, and I got back home in November. So during that year, we was helping to establish a government, and now, as we go back, the government somewhat establishes. They keep taking more and more responsibility, and we keep doing less and less. So now we're in the process of doing a drawdown and exiting the country. So it's like a feeling of mission accomplishment. Yeah. You're going in, you're cleaning up, you're turning the lights out, and see ya type thing.
You go at a time of Christmas, at a time of anticipation of Christ's birth. That we know is such a big family time. I would ask you as you go, how do you take the spirit of Christmas with you, and how do you take part of the Cherokee family with you when you're leaving?
Well, all sorts of things. A lot of it's up in here, memories, and a lot of it's right here. Also, pictures, emails.
His email address is in the compass, by the way.
Phone numbers. Yes, it's you're over there, halfway across the world. It's a different society, but we still have internet, we still have telephones, so, and we still have the U.S. Postal Service.
And yes, I think care packages are welcome, cookies, whatever you want to send. I understand that last year, in the midst of fighting in a desert, one of the most beautiful gifts that came to Tim, I'm going to let him tell you, Karen and Harry Webb sent something very thoughtful, very simple to him. I want you to tell them what that was.
Well, this was back in 2005, and it was a care package, and it was sent back, you know, Karen and Harry Webb, and that was like cookies and I think some socks, but that was a couple of magazines they just sent. And it's called Country Magazine, and as you go, and it's a lot of just photographs and scenery, mountains, farms, trees, and you might think, okay, but when you are born and raised and live in East Tennessee all your life, and then you leave and you go out in the middle of the desert to where you walk out and all you see is sand, no trees, no grass, and after you've been there for about three or 4 months and you get that magazine and you open it up, it's like, wow. I mean, even like when I was coming back on my 15-day leave during 2005, and the plane was coming down in Atlanta, and you're looking out the windows, and you see all the trees and stuff, and it's like, wow. Though, when you're over here, you just look out and thought, oh, okay, that's trees.
He now has a subscription to that magazine, I might add. And Tim, as you prepare to leave at the very end of the service, I'm going to invite those who want to come and just lay hands on him and send him on his way with a blessing to do that. But as you leave, I would ask you, how is it that your faith will be a resource to you during these uncertain times that are ahead for you and that are ahead for our nation? How will that be a source of strength to you?
Well, first time I went over there, and it was late, about November, 1st December 2004. It's right, we was in Kuwait and we was getting ready to go into Iraq. And for those of you that don't know how things works over there, everything that goes into Iraq comes through Kuwait. And when it's time to come home, then you go back through Kuwait. You know, that's just how it works over there. So we're there in Kuwait, we're getting ready to cross the border. We're about days or a week away, and I noticed a lot of people around me was anxious, nervous, stressed, but yet I was just at peace. I just had this calming effect that was over me, and I believe the reason why I had it was that this church, my brother and mother's church and my sister's church, those churches was praying for me. And I believe that is what gave me that sense of peace during those times.
Absolutely. A peace that passes understanding that only God can give. Tim, we honor you and thank you. We're proud you're part of our family, and we thank you for your willingness to serve your country.